Hola, señoritas. Hey,
Hey,
Jules. That's all I
Jules.
got. That's
That's
it.
it.
I better
That's
quit playing.
that's it. Because somebody gonna say, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" back, and you're gonna be like,
¿Qué pasa? What's up, y'all? This is day five. Day five of our 7 days of rest series. And today we are going to dive into social rest. Who knew social rest was a rest? Like there's things to be intentional about
"There's
in
a
the area of resting. And so yeah, let's
as a
go.
super extrovert now." you
Because see, I didn't need
you never right. You ain't never lacked in the social rest area as an extrovert, someone who gets energy from all of the people and all of the friends and all of the things. This isn't about where you get energy, right? This is about recognizing relationships that revive you from those that may exhaust you. And to me, right, this is a big lesson learned again because I come from a big family. I have lots of amazing friends. And so I just love the people. I love the people.
you love the people.
I
She
love the people. You should be like, put them people down, girl. But I got to a place where I was pouring, and I was empty. And I'm still trying to pour from an empty cup. And the revelation that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and that people really do, they're supposed to get the overflow. That really changed my perspective. I should say it that way. So, am I surrounding myself with people who are not just encouraging and gassing me up? Like that's not the point, but people who
Right.
are fueling and uplifting and encouraging and
Yeah,
in a positive way, not just in a fluffy way, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. Because and you don't want to isolate yourself. It's not about like just going off and being by yourself all the time,
Hmm.
trying to, replenish yourself. That's not what it is. It's a balance that you have to find.
Hmm.
And, you want to make sure you're intentional about being around people who bring nourishment, right? Because if you need some rest socially, right, it's kind of like a vitamin that's missing. And
Yeah,
so those types of relationships, that's where you're going to find that type of rest. Does that
yeah,
make sense?
it
So,
does.
no, don't try to go off and be by yourself all the time. You just want to make sure you're building good social relationships so that you can have the social rest. Because it's people on people. Like you can't get away unless you're gonna become a hermit. You're gonna be around the people, right? But there are some energies, there are some personalities this that's real big sometimes for some of us me. Some of that be too much, and then I need to find my balance, and so that's how I know I need social rest. So if I'm with you and we out and about in the crowd and I disappear, I'm just getting some social rest. I'm probably on the phone with Tiffany, especially if she ain't there. We FaceTiming.
We FaceTiming and texting
This
like.
is my way of replenishing so I can come back out there with the rest of y'all. That's all that
Hmm.
is. But
Listen,
yeah, don't feel bad if you need to, step away and get some
no.
social rest. It's all good. It's
And
all good.
here's what I'll say as again, as the extrovert I have introverted friends, right? And I think one time I had everybody together for something. It was like some get together. And I remember giving some people a pep talk like, hey, so and so is coming. She's amazing. If she just leaves in the middle of the moment and
Mhm,
disappears for a couple hours, it's okay,
mhm.
right? Because some of my friends are extroverts as well. And they were like, is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But sometimes people are too much, and so she gonna need a moment
Yeah.
to process it and then come back. And so, and it was fine, like giving that heads up. And so I think that's
Mhm,
one of the things for me. A connection audit was really important. I had some situations where I would talk to somebody on a regular basis, and I found myself getting exhausted almost immediately, right? Like
mm.
it was almost like I was like, all of a sudden I'd be sleepy. I don't care what I was doing. I just be like, man, I need to go. Ooh, I need a nap. just like, and it didn't dawn on me till probably about the fourth or fifth time it happened, because I was like, oh, maybe I'm just being busy. Maybe it's just because the time that I talked to them. No, it was only when I talked to
Certain ones.
certain one, right? And so I was like, okay, well, we're gonna have to shut this down, right? And so I had to put some boundaries in place. But it caused me to look at all of my relationships really and connections to see where the ones that are kind of fueling and that I get excited and encouraged and I'm like energized and I'm like I can go a little bit longer, and where the ones that are more draining, that take a lot more effort and work,
Yeah.
and and that was helpful. The other thing, again, I know I'm just supposed to tell y'all one, but it's all connected, okay? It's all connected, I promise. I looked at Jesus as an example. I really did. And I
Yeah,
looked
because he will walk off. Peter and what was that other one? I know for sure Peter. Peter was always over there. Maybe James might have went, but I know for sure Peter was.
Yes, Peter was there with his switchblade, but what I not the switchblade, Lord help me. I'm sorry. But
Jesus had his favorites. Well, I shouldn't say
so
favorites, but
But okay,
you know what I'm saying.
so the thing that helped me was the difference between like the crowd, which was like just the people who were around just to kind of see the miracles and wonders,
Hmm.
the core, which were the people who were, the disciples, right? The ones that were following him closely and he was teaching. And then there was like what I call like the three the crew,
The
right?
crew,
The
the core,
three, the
the
ones that
core of the
were
core.
graced for his humanity,
Hmm.
right? And they still were able to work through it, right? Like he was like, y'all can't pray for an hour, like y'all ain't nothing, right? But they were there, and they had his back, and they got to see him in some vulnerable spaces, and it didn't take away from how they felt and how they cared about him, right? So for me, I was like, well, if Jesus can have a, some segments of folks
Right. He had his boundaries.
with boundaries. Come
Yeah.
on, somebody.
And he prioritized how he made his connections. He connected with everybody when he connected with everybody. And then he connected with his people at that time
Yay.
too. Ain't no harm,
You
no
know,
foul,
we I missed that day in Sunday school, so I had to go back and learn that a little bit later. And I'm so glad because I no longer, I don't carry that guilt about, okay, well, this is the boundary here, right? These
Mhm.
are the folks who are grace. God has gifted me with a closer friendship, with a sisterhood that I I can trust, we can trust, we are on the same direction, our values are the same. I don't have to make a point, right? I can share my perspective and that be it, right?
Yeah.
And so that to me was very that connection audit,
Yeah.
and being okay with sometimes it shifts where people fall in the audit. Sometimes
Yeah, because life changes.
life
Life
changes.
changes. That's like you didn't even know, like you said, that this was an option. And I think it has a lot to do with childhood. We moved through school together. Every
Ever.
time the bell rung, everybody was moving together from what, kindergarten all the way up to through high school. And then you go to college and it's like you got options. It's the
I don't
same.
have
So
class on Fridays.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the
Yeah.
same thing. I think it's just in society, we always moved around with the same people for so long that we didn't know that, like I said, we didn't know it was an option um to have those different groups for different reasons. So it's like I was talking about the other day. You got a table and there's a bunch of chairs. And everybody got they chair. Some
Yeah.
people still on the elevator trying to get up to the third floor.
Some people on
Yeah.
their way out
Yeah.
because it's time for them to go.
Get
Like,
up from the table. Yeah.
yeah, just to get up from the table, and that's okay.
Yep.
But for me, that positioned me to set better boundaries, and like you said, just to
Yeah. Who
prioritize
you
it better.
spending time with, it's okay. Because that's what's going to help you to recharge and to approach life with new energy because you going through new experiences, especially as we're getting older. We definitely, we didn't, I'll be 43 this week. 43 and me.
43 where?
A 43 where, okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm just learning, as I go through life change, different seasons. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot more peaceful on this side of like those I'm not even gonna say they're not tough evaluations, but they do take intention, those
mhm.
intentional evaluations.
Uncomfortable too sometimes.
They can be
Oh, because
uncomfortable.
it change, you know.
Hmm.
So okay,
Yes.
we'll talk about it on 14th, girl. Talk
Okay,
about
I know, because we could do this for
yeah,
days, right? But
good. But we not.
we're not because the Saints and Friends they doing they got time. They only got a certain amount of time. They just set their alarms on their social.
Uh-huh.
So
On
we
the
gonna honor
social. So
that.
we gonna honor
Uh,
that. Very
yes.
good. Very good.
If you
So
haven't had
people
an opportunity, I was gonna say, but if you haven't had an opportunity, if you're catching up, make sure you look at the previous ones because we've got 7 areas of rest that we're going through. Just to give you an understanding, because we want to do a deeper dive at our mini rest course on June 14th. So check it out in the description. We'd love for you to sign up and join us. It's gonna be really, really special. And if this resonated with you, leave us a comment. We want to know.
we want to hear about it.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Toodles.